Oh shit. Let's go. It's been a long time coming, and we finally came. You're welcome. I'm Raxiel Liz. You're listening to We Alive and Living. Thank you. Thank you. Man, I can't say thank you enough. Damn, I can't say thank you enough. Love y'all for that. If you have Instagram or any kind of social media platform, my @ is RAXIEL_LIZ. Hit me up on there. Let me know you listen to this podcast. Let me know what you thought about it. I would love to say thank you personally. I don't care if it's one person to 20 to 200 to 1,000. I would love to say thank you to each and every single one of y'all for just kind of, taking time out of your day, whether you're driving or you just chilling, cooking, whatever, and you just wanted to listen to something different. Let's jump into the shits. Is this episode 1? Nah, this is not really episode 1, right? This is not even episode 1. This is like let's call it a soft intro. This is us testing the waters, see how we feel about this. I've been asked to do this podcast thing for a while. People are like, what the fuck, man? You need a podcast. People call me for advice. They call me for my point of view and all that shit. And people been telling me to start a podcast or YouTube. So I said, fuck, shit, I'm going to start both. Some inside of me, I'm very big on mental health. I'm very big on mental health. Mental health advocate. I do a lot of public speaking. Certified Scrum Master. A person that likes to dive deep into the thought process of people. See what makes them tick. See what's making them depressed. See what's making them upset. See what's making them happy. I want to talk about all of it. Get people to where they need to be mentally. Little background on me real quick, since you're listening to the show, it's good to know who the fuck you're talking to. Quick background of some of my trauma that got me to the point of wanting to do all this and be the way I am today. When I was 14, make a long story short, I'm gonna jump through these really quick and we'll give some more content and insight on the topics later on in different episodes. But when I was 14, my brother was killed right in front of me. He was shot in the back of the head. Bullet went through the back, came out to the front. Passed me, missed me by inches. I had blood all over my face. I was trying to take him out the car. His friends was like, get back in and all this stuff. And he was pronounced dead in the hospital. Announced dead in the hospital. Terrible time. I was 14 years old. I'll give more insight on why the shooting was even happening later on in a different episode. Mid-20s, my dad lived in Ohio. I knew him from a young age, at the age of like 12, 15 or so. Then he disappeared. And by mid-20, 24, 25, I got the phone call that he was murdered. He was murdered in Ohio. He had fucking played a scratch-off. And he won a good amount of money. If I'm not mistaken, it was like $500,000 or something like that. And Dominicans, when they get some money, we wild out. So he was in a gas station. He like, El Diablo, what the fuck? Shit, bitch. Oh, shit. I don't win the fucking lottery. He fucking lost his mind. Started yelling and jumping up and down, saying he rich. And it's a gas station. Some people heard him. And I think it was like 2 guys followed him home, stabbed him up, took the ticket, left him for dead. Never found out that he signed it or whatever the case may be for them to actually cash in that ticket. I don't know. But that's that, and I'll give you more info on that. And last but not least, when I was in my early 30s, my mom was diagnosed and died from cancer. She was diagnosed with cervical cancer. That's where it started. She battled it for about 8, 9 years, probably 10. And then they finally got her, It kept on moving around. They did so many surgical things, operations to her. Her body looked like Wolverine attacked her. And again, I'm not saying these things in a comical manner like I don't care. And I know some people think this is my way of dealing with it. Like I joke around to deal with it. No, this is the way I really am. This is the way I really turned out. Yes, I went through my spiral of depression. Yes, I get depressed to this day. I go through my shit like anybody else. But we'll go into more insight on what gets me going, what gets me grooving, what gets me in the mental state to be happy, to be able to love life, to still keep going and make the people that were behind me and that I've lost, make them proud. That's what this podcast is about, those topics. But wanted to give you guys insight on a little bit about me, on why I think you should listen to me. Not only that, but why I decided to do this. I'm one of those guys that a lot of my friends call me for advice, whether it's relationship advice, life advice, decisions like a job or something like that, whatever the case may be. A lot of people, know me to be a person that's achieved a lot in a short period of time. A little bit more insight real quick on me. I'm an author. I wrote a book called Shut the Fuck Up and Love, which is based on mental health and depression. I know the title throws people off, Shut the Fuck Up and Love. But it's a book on mental health, a very straightforward punch to the stomach dose of motivation and reality. I've had people call me and curse me out midway reading the book. You don't have the right to say shit like that, you fucking piece of shit. And I'll say to them, I'll let you punch me in the face when you finish reading the book if you feel the same way. And they'll read the book and they'll call me back. I've had a few people call me crying, telling me I had them in tears when they were reading the book. It's a very powerful, emotional, straightforward, and in its own way comical book. It's called Shut the Fuck Up and Love. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart. Get it wherever you get your books from. It's on digital, soft cover, and hardcover. Look at me putting the plugs and shit, right? I'm just trying to help out. So I'm an author, wrote that book. I also wrote a book called I Didn't Know My Daughter Was a Ninja. I'll get into why is it that I have such a crazy adult content book than I have a kid book. But it's really not a kid book. It's like an anime book. And you know, anime is kind of out there. Also, I'm a director. I filmed a movie called, filmed a few movies, but I have a movie out that you can go look at. It's called Mistakes and Monsters, Line in the Sand. I'm also an actor. I've been in movies on HBO, David Makes Man, Homicide Hunters. And, you know, anyway, we're going to brag about all that later on. We're going to talk about all that bullshit later on. But just give you insight. Done a few things, and I'm here to share my story, here to motivate you, give some people some insight on what they could, can, and shouldn't do, what they could do, what they need to do. And again, I don't like saying could, can, shouldn't do. I mean, don't let nobody tell you what you could and can't do. I was rambling too fast and that came out. But yeah, I was asked to do this podcast, and I'll leave it on this. I was asked to do this podcast due to the fact of a lot of my public speaking. I've gone to places and shared my story, shared my trauma, shared how the trauma started, where it led and where it's at, my achievements, my goals, things I'm still trying to achieve, things that bother me, things that knock me down. Very open-minded person to understanding the psyche of a person. I could not know you and you could tell me your story. You know, I promise you, I'm not going to say I can give you what you need to handle your situation. But I promise you, you'll leave with something that, you know, you either come back for some more advice or, you know, you'll say, man, I'm glad I spoke to him. Not tooting my own horn, but I will toot this horn. I am a person that loves to assist people. Maybe a little bit too much. Love to assist people that, even if you do it, don't need it. But I love to lend a helping hand in whichever way I can, especially when it comes to the mental health. I'm an extreme mental health advocate, and I have a very unorthodox point of view of going about it. I'm a very fuck you, straight to the point type of person. But at the same time, I'm kind and respectful to people's opinions and people's feelings and the way they are. I'm not going to just come in here and be like, man, your dog died, who gives a fuck? Move on, it was just a dog. I would never do that. No, my cat or dog died, I'd be devastated. But yeah, follow me on all these platforms. I'm glad you're listening. I'm glad you tuned in. I just wanted to give you a quick little touch base, little touch and feel of who I am, who I be, what I is. You know, we're going to definitely have some guest people on here. We're going to definitely talk about topics. Hit me up on Instagram. Let me know topics you want me to talk about, whether it's from emotional to physical to movies, entertainment. We're going to talk about everything, music, whatever the case may be. I'm not into all the gossip though, so don't come here for that. I don't care who did what and when they did it and what Yeezy is up to and what, you know, who got beef for who. We could touch on that, but that's not what this podcast is about. This is literally about getting into our heads, getting out of our heads, diving deep into that psyche, to that reality, and, you know, facing our challenges head on. I'll leave you guys with this though. We're going to talk a lot about the law of attraction. We're going to talk a lot about going forward, fighting through depression, fighting through what gets you down, relationships and things of that nature, things that people take for granted sometimes. And I don't mean take for granted, but I mean, take for granted, but what I mean by that is there's not enough light shed on these things. Yes, mental health is big. mental health is a big, big, big factor in this world today. But I still feel like there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to address. There's a lot to explore where it's starting, where it's at, and where it's going, with everybody being different. So yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm excited. Again, like I said, this was just a touch base, a little touch and feel, see where we was going, see how I feel, make sure we got our mics leveled, make sure everything sounds good. Check us out, follow it, you know, and we'll be back next time. You know, it's been a long time coming and we came. You're welcome. I'm still trying to see if that works. It's like, yeah, like that, a long time coming and we came. Well, you get it? It's going over your head? Fuck y'all, man, shit. But love y'all. Hope to see y'all again. Let's talk. Let's chop it up. Raxiel Liz, and you was listening to We Alive and Living. Soft intro. Let's go.